Hi everyone, it's a pleasure for me to participate to this international conference, TAF conference. My name is Eliel Belchrist. I'm currently a research assistant at the Laboratory of Genetics, Horticulture, and Seed Science. I'm also a member of the American Society of Plant Biologists and a member of African Students and Alumni Forum funded by the Pan-African Program of the European Union. I also benefited from a grant from the European Union. That grant award students in final year of master thesis in Africa, and is called a MOBRID program. The topic of my presentation for this conference is performance of Amaranthus cruentus, genotypes for leaf yield, iron, zinc, and carotenoid content. After a brief background, I will give the objective of the study, the material and method used, the results obtained, and the discussion, ending by the conclusion. It's well known that for the past half century, there is an increase of some dense staple foods such as rice, maize, accounting for 3.8% of the global production. But the production of vegetable has not increased in equal measure, even though that they are increasingly known for their therapeutic value and their potential nutritional value. They have also the potential to combat the nutrient deficiency common in Africa, such as iron deficiency, cause of anemia, and vitamin A, cause of blindness. Amaranthus cruentus is a vegetable crop that has that potential to alleviate malnutrition and is one of the most consumed vegetables in West Africa. To increase the production of that vegetable, many studies were carried out on many species of the genus at the same time with limited number of accessions of Amaranthus cruentus, and also few studies was performed on the nutrient content including our local cultivars from West Africa. So the objective of our study was to assess the leaf yield and nutritional performance of a set of 25 genotypes of Amaranthus cruentus to generate useful information regarding the performance of local genotypes and released entries. The experiment was carried out at the experimental farm of Cas in Nigeria during two-season planting. The plant material consisted of 25 genotypes of Amaranthus cruentus with two checks varieties out of the 25 genotypes, Majira 2, released by World Vegetable in Tanzania, and Abakaliki Local 2. That is a local cultivar cultivated in Nigeria. Our experiment was designed using the simple lattice, and the cultural practices consisted in performing a nursery and transplanting the seedlings after 4 weeks. The data collection consisted to collect the total yield. The total yield is the total weight of the plant above the ground surface, and the marketable fresh vegetable yield that consisted of weighting the leaves and tender stem after separating them from the thicker central and axial stems. This figure is showing the plants cut in the middle of the beds, and the second figure is showing the growth of the plant 2 weeks after transplanting, and you can see the variation. The nutritional quality traits consisted in performing some micronutrient analysis for carotenoid, iron, and zinc content using the oven, the spectrophotometer, and the sampling was made on 3 fresh leaves on 5 plants from each accession in bulk at the Laboratory of Chemistry and Biochemistry of Ebonyi Federal University in Nigeria. The data analysis consisted in working out an ANOVA based on the list, the linear mix model across season for all traits with the random effect such as block, replication, and the interaction, and the fifth effect was the genotype and season. This table is showing the analysis of variance for the 5 traits, and we can see that there is a significant difference among the genotype for all the traits, but for the season, there is only significant difference between the 2 seasons for total yield, marketable fresh vegetable yield, and zinc, while there is no significant difference between seasons for carotenoid and iron content in the leaves. So the zinc content and the total and marketable yield are highly influenced by season, and this result might have resulted from the environmental contrast between both seasons. Indeed, the first season was a late planting season with warm and wet a, a climate, a condition, and the second early planting season was cool with less precipitation. Our results on the total yield corroborate this all 2018, who find that leaf yield is highly influenced by the environment and might be improved by adequate cultural practices. According to Binance in 2017, environment is likely to have substantial effects on iron content, and this statement is not in line with our result. However, there is an influence of the season on the genotypes iron content, which is reflected in the significant interaction between genotype and season. There is a change in the rank of the genotypes for the iron content across season, and so the optimum genotype will be season specific. If we have one genotype A that perform highly for the first season, it may not be the first ranking for the second season. It was the same thing for yields, total carotenoid, and zinc content. So the selection programs must not only consider location influence but also the season to recommend the best performing varieties for yield, carotenoid, zinc, and iron content. As a result, we have 3 best performing genotypes for total and marketable yield. These are Nige 10 for the season 2, one genotype from Nigeria, Ben 1 for the first season. It is a genotype from Benin Republic, but for the season 1 and season 2, it was Madira that is a released variety. The highest leaf yield of Madira 2 was recorded for the season 1 and performed lesser than in previous studies in USA. Also, our result for Madira 2 was higher than the total yield obtained in Ethiopia across 2-year season planting. So 3 assumptions was made. That variation might be because of the environment effect, the purity of the lines, the different material and method, fertilizer, and dates of transplanting. For carotenoid, 3 best performing genotypes was recorded. Nige 2 for the first season, a genotype from Nigeria. Ben 1, this is for season 1 and season 2, a genotype from Benin Republic. And Ben 2 performed higher than the others for the season 2. 13 and 17 genotype out of 25 have respectively high content in carotenoid than Abakaliki local 2 and Madira 2. So we concluded that We have low total carotenoid content in check varieties. While considering the overall mean, we have a high content of a total carotenoid compared to jute mallow, reported by Luo and al. In 2014. According to Prakash and Paul, there is a high content of carotenoid in Amaranthus cruentus, and Amaranthus cruentus is considered as a good source of carotenoid. But we notice in our study that such level of carotenoid was with a sevenfold variation and a maximum of 157.12. As per the iron content, we have two best performing genotypes. The first one is from Sudan and performed well for season 1 and both season. And the second one from Benin Republic that performed well for the season 2. And we can see that there is the leaves that are a mixture of green and purple leaf color. 16 and 5 genotype out of 25 genotype have respectively high content in iron than Abakaliki 2 and Madeira 2. So we notice that the best genotype with high iron content have a mixture of green and purple, and we need more investigation with more set of genotypes. But it was noticed that there is a moderate correlation between the color of the leaves and the stem with the iron content in the leaves. So we can advise that genotype from Sudan to farmers for children suffering of anemia, even though that we need multi-locational trial for the stability test. For zinc content, we have two best performing genotypes, Madeira 2 that performed well for season 1 and both season, and Montana that was the best performing for season 2. To conclude, we can say that selection is possible for leaf yield, iron, zinc, and carotenoid level in Amaranthus cruentus. Madeira 2 is a high-yielding variety under Abakaliki Nigeria climate condition and can be advised to the farmers. Local cultivars have a, a promising and high carotenoid level and also a high iron content, and can also be used by farmers. For the breeding program, we think that it should be based on the introduction and selection for leaf yield stability in considering the season effect. Thank you for watching this video. This is the end of my presentation. Your comments, question will be welcome to improve the quality of this work. Thank you very much.